my trip now. I've come into Germany. A little bit of thoughts on this new Africa Twin. With the DCT, it's like a car, an automatic car. There's not even a place for your foot to try and shift. There is an option to manually shift, but you do it with triggers with your finger to go up and down. But I haven't tried that mode yet, so let me just talk about the DCT, the automated part of this. There's sort of a normal version, and then there's a sport version, and there's 3 sport versions even within that. I haven't tested all of them, but I've been using both. I have noticed that definitely in the sport version, essentially it keeps the gearing a little bit lower and your RPMs a little bit higher throughout the entire range. This has been really helpful when I just need to get up and go out of nowhere. In the normal version, it always hiccups. It's if I don't throttle it easily and I do anything else quicker than that, then the bike does not like that at all. So I've been keeping it in a more sporty mode because I'm used to having a little bit of throttle at a moment's notice. And I'm using the middle sport mode. I don't know the differences. There's kind of like a high, medium, and low, or a 1, 2, 3. I don't know what the differences are yet, but I'll hopefully figure that out maybe with some trial and error, maybe do some Googling. But so far, it does seem really great. The electronics display gives you a lot of information, the same as a car. If you want to know all this different trip information, if you want to know your current fuel consumption, your highest, your peak fuel consumption, and things like that. I mean, it's just got a lot of information on the dash, which is really nice. The riding position is very much a touring position, sitting almost straight up, which for me is very comfortable and what I'm used to, so I really enjoy that. I did notice that you can't shift your feet back very far. There's the motor kind of gets in the way, and some other pieces of the engine and other things. So it's really meant to be definitely more of a touring bike where you have your feet kind of more feet forward to access the brake and things like that from your foot. So that's bothered me a little bit because I've recently been trying to get used to having my foot more back and on the ball of my feet, mainly for off-roading. But I guess it's just the difference in when you're riding off-road, you need to have your feet back, and when you're on the pavement, it's okay to have your feet forward. But it's a habit that I'm trying to form where I do have my feet more back. So you can't do that with this bike, at least not to the extent that I've been trying to teach myself. So I question its off-road worthiness in that regard, and being able to put your feet kind of where you want them and to have that control. It is definitely a lower bike that I'm used to with my dirt bike. It's a very high seat of about 32 to 33 inches. This is definitely a few inches lower, and it's very noticeable. I can be flat foot anywhere I go. It's very comfortable. I did notice that when you're sitting on the bike starts in neutral, and there's a button that you push to basically engage the gearing. And when you do that, there's a very tiny, subtle lurch forward, but it doesn't go. It just kind of is getting into first gear. And then as you take off, as you throttle on, it'll start to jump into other gears. The first thing I noticed was that when you put a throttle on, I mean, it goes. There's no subtle start. And so I've been trying to just teach myself to I have to hold the grip really tight and just barely give it just a little bit of gas to kind of give me an easier start that's more comfortable for me, just because I'm not used to that. I suspect if I was riding this bike a lot more, I would kind of be used to just the pop on, lift your feet and just go. There's no slow roll in, you just get going. I suspect that wouldn't be much of an issue because it's not terribly shocking. It's just different than what I'm used to. Yeah, so that's it for now. That's just a few things that I've noticed. I'll make some more notes later today, but overall, it's a great experience. I've never owned a large bike, anything over 650, so having something like this certainly is appealing, especially when you're doing a lot more road riding. This would be a very comfortable ride compared to what I've had in the past.
So